So Isaiah Neyer's in the portal. Jordan, we talked about it, man, and you and I talked about it then when it happened, when you went to a couple of those camp practices. I kind of needed your eyes, just another set of eyes to confirm what I was seeing, and I was like, man, Isaiah Neyor just looks like a half step behind, especially compared to where he was in that spring game, catching bombs from Quinn Ewers. And you agreed. It just, I don't know if it was a confidence thing with him or what, but you could tell just getting out of his breaks, he just looked like he wasn't fully trusting that knee yet. And man, Sark keeps that receiver rotation tight. And so, not a lot of reps this year for Isaiah Neyor. Came to Texas with a ton of promise. And I do think he'll be a commodity in the portal because somebody will be thinking, yeah, we can get that out of him, especially if you're really starved for wide receivers. But that's the end. That looks like it's the end, Jordan, of Isaiah Neyor's tenure at the University of Texas. Is going to be 2 seasons, one where he was shut down due to injury and another this past season where I'm showing – this is according to Pro Football Focus. He got 8 total snaps in the Rice game, and that was it. That's all Isaiah Neyor played this season. So his Texas career, as promising of a start as it got off to, according to Pro Football Focus, 8 snaps.
How does he have 2 years left of eligibility?
He
was class of 2019. That means if he uses all of them, he would have been in college 7 years.
I think part of that's going to be so he's got his COVID red shirt. It's probably the same reason that Cam Rising and Casey Thompson get another year. If you can, you'd have to get an injury waiver for the extra year. So I definitely won. I think the assumption is he gets 2, because you got to apply for that waiver to get an extra year. But I think, to me, it doesn't matter because if Neyor has, wherever he goes, if he has a big year or at least looks like the guy he did before the injury, he's going to go to the NFL. So, that second year of eligibility probably won't matter.
Yeah. By the way, if there ever is a receiver that is about 6'3", 215 pounds, that's going to come out of Wyoming via the transfer portal in a year or two, his name is Justin Stevenson. And I'm just saying, I'm going to come back to this clip if he's one of the top dudes in the portal because I think he can be and having an Isaiah Neyor type of, leveling up. Okay, let's see. 2020. So 2019, it said he only played in 1 stat on the Wyoming website.
Okay, so that would be a redshirt year.
Yeah, and then 2020, he had 8 receptions for 248 yards. I assumed he played in more than 4 games. In 2021, that was his breakout year, Wyoming, and then he transferred to Texas for the 2022 season, but obviously missed all of it. So he he obviously has a COVID year, medical red shirt, and I guess regular red shirt. So that's how he's doing 7 years.
So he's at 5. Yeah, he'll be next year. Will be his 6th year, and then the medical would be 7th.
Yeah. Also, so while we're here, Matthew Golden. He finally entered the portal. Sorry, I'm just going through some.
No, what people need to remember about Matthew Golden too, and why this makes sense for Texas to pursue him. First off, he's insanely talented at the receiver position. Second off, you're losing Keelan Robinson.
First off, he's good at football.
he's very good at the game of American tackle football. Second off, in addition to bringing what he can bring you at the receiver position, you're losing Keelan Robinson. You're losing Xavier Worthy. Matthew Golden comes in and helps your return game right off the bat, so he can contribute there. You don't have to just hope and pray that Jonte Cook can fill that role. You got Golden coming in. He can do that. And third, Jordan, maybe most important in this deal, this is one of those few guys in that 2021 cycle that Sark actually wanted Matthew Golden. Like they pursued him. It was just he was committed. He was committed to TCU. Then did he open it up, or was it just a straight flip to Houston?
Nah, so I'm pretty sure he just straight decommitted, and it was because that was in 2021, and they fired Patterson halfway through the season.
Okay. Really good eval by that TCU staff, by the way.
If I remember correctly, he committed as like a sophomore or junior or some shit. Like he committed pretty early, and y'all remember when Gary Patterson was at TCU, like at least every other year, pretty much every year, they would get like a 4-star kid, and it's like, how the hell did they get this guy? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
what? But I think that's what it was. And then obviously Patterson got canned. And man, I mean, Da'Keil Shorts is part of my French is a motherfucker, man. Like Da'Keil Shorts is gonna have a long coaching career. And speaking of Da'Keil Shorts, that's actually gonna have a very big impact for Golden. Obviously, it's had an impact. I always reported that if he's brought back, the chance of him leaving via the portal is significant or goes down significantly. He's not being brought back, but he's in communication with a few schools that are looking to hire him potentially as a wide receiver coach. I'm not really in the position to say which schools they are, but depending on if he were to land at some of those schools, Matthew Golden would have a lot of interest. And actually, and
Yeah.
I'm going to report kind of more in depth on this later today once I'm able to talk to my source again. But Matthew Golden would love to play for Shorts again, and if it makes sense, and he's at a school that Matthew Golden feels like he can be successful at, like they will very much be a contender in it.
Yeah.
Other contenders as of right now, I actually was on the phone with the source right before I got on air. I asked him, 5 schools to watch out for. Who would you say? And I just wrote it down because you forget in days like this. He says UT, LSU, Georgia, Louisville, Miami. So Texas, LSU, Georgia, Louisville, Miami. The source did say he thinks he's going to end up in the SEC, though. But as of right now, like I've been reporting on Matthew Golden because I had very good sourcing there and felt very good about his chances to enter the portal. And I felt very strongly that as talented as he is, he'd probably be a guy Texas will want. And so that's why I've been reporting on it. Just because I've been reporting on it before he entered the portal doesn't mean I think he's going to Texas or that he is going to Texas. Like there's still going to be a long ways to go there. And for a lot of these guys as well, like, of course, the process is sped up in the portal because these guys only have 30 days really to find a new home, or 32, however many it is. But, a lot of these guys want to take visits. And for a lot of these guys that are coming from the lower ranks, FCS and stuff like that, they've never visited any of these schools before. They weren't able to do that back in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, as of like 10:50 a.m., no visits have been set yet with Golden. Mukuba, someone just mentioned Mukuba, so I'll hit on that because I know people are going to want to know about that.
In the
He
chat,
obviously has some. Yeah, he obviously has some visits set. Hank South reported it this morning.
USC, Texas. I forget where the other ones were. Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Ole Miss. So,
what you got, Jordan? Yeah, Andrew Mukuba's visits. Yeah, Oklahoma, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, and USC next week. So, at least the Texas visit, he'll get to sleep in his own bed.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. So Texas, I feel like is in a good spot there, but a decision isn't really even close to being made. So he's going to be at Clemson till about the 13th, finishing up finals. Mukuba will, and also I guess while I'm on this topic, I've seen seen it posted a lot of places that he has a baby who lives in Austin. While he does have a child, I can confirm through sources that that baby's been living with him and the baby's mother, Andrew's girlfriend, at Clemson this whole time. I know his girlfriend was a Clemson student, so I'm not sure if she's also entering the portal, how that's all working. But I do know that just, it wasn't an A.D. Mitchell situation where his son was living back home. And, with Drew, being close to home would be something that's viewed as a plus in his eyes. But, he went to Clemson over LSU. Texas was really not in consideration out of high school. Being close to home, he's had to make that decision before, and he's not afraid to do it again. NIL is also going to be NIL is also going to be really important here, just like a lot of the big time portal recruitments. I actually haven't heard of a ton. I'm not I know that Texas has not made an offer yet in terms of NIL yet. I know some of the schools he's visiting have. I know some haven't, besides schools not named Texas. But again, like this one, it does have a long way to go. I'm actually going to be seeing my source for him this weekend, so should have at least something out of the weekend by the end of the weekend.
So
On
if
an
y'all want to
update
track
there.
Jordan
But
and find out where he's going to operate in darkness undercover, follow him out of his Lake Travis dwelling, hide in the bushes and whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
the one school, Jordan, that I actually do worry about with Mukuba, Oregon, not really. Ole Miss, not really. Not even really USC because
yeah, I want to say right now I can't really tell you why, but like I would expect to. He's not going to USC. He's not going to USC.
Yeah. Oklahoma, if there's a contender, Oklahoma's concerning just because when he went to play at Clemson, Brent Venables was the defensive coordinator there. So there's just that natural. And for whatever reason, man, Cade Klubnik, and we talked about it, man, some kids from the Austin area, for whatever reason, man, they just really like Brent Venables. They just really connected with him when he was at Clemson.